Dear students, being a university student is very challenging and very different from being a high school student. To succeed as a student at university, you need to manage your personal development. This is not as easy as it sounds. Managing one's personal development takes time, effort, and practical knowledge. This video and other videos in the CPUTFYE series will point you in the right direction to help develop yourself as a well-rounded student.
Being a first-year student coming into university can be very difficult. You're away from home, you're in a new environment, there's no teacher around to tell you or prefect around to tell you this is where you need to be. Your time is not managed by anyone. Although you have a timetable, you have to become responsible for yourself. So a lot depends on you as a student, and that in itself can be quite overwhelming. Very often what happens is students become overwhelmed by the number of assignments. And then it becomes a lot more difficult to prioritize because you haven't necessarily set goals for yourself.
Goals are a challenge for all of us. With the right approach and attitude, we can achieve our goals.
You need to understand it, understand the goal, understand the impact of the goal in your bigger plan or in your life. After you've understood the goal, you then need to start mapping out exactly how to get to the goal.
Now that you are a first year at university, it is very difficult to be here. There are a lot of distractions and you need to focus, know what you want so that you don't get distracted by other things that are here.
I have micro goals, which are my very small goals, and then I have the big goals. You have to visualize the end picture. That's what gets you going. You have to see yourself there. You have to first set the main goal. I want to be the best student in my year. Then you visualize that picture, and then you set the little goals just to push you there, to kind of work your way to that end goal.
So basically we try to advise you how to live your life as an individual now. There are no parents, there is no one who's telling you what to do, what to not do. You have to make your own opinion and decisions. So that's how we try to advise this kind of youngsters in this varsity.
And so when you're setting those goals, you need to also make sure that you set enough time to be able to achieve those goals. Plan your time, schedule your assignments, know when the due dates are. Also be aware of where you can get assistance to deal with how to manage your time and how to set those goals. Very easy as a first year student, one can get quite overwhelmed with the number of subjects that you have, the number of assignments that come through, and the best way to avoid procrastinating is by prioritizing. As a first year student, when you get assignments or you know that there are tests, is to schedule those and then to work out a plan as to how you're going to address the assignments. So it's important to know what the deadlines are, know what the criteria are for the various assignments, and then to start working on it bit by bit.
Being a student at a university is quite different from any study situation you have been in before. You have to adjust to being 100% responsible for your own learning and success. Your first year of study will be a challenge, and it only gets more challenging from here on until graduation.
You need to know what's most important. You need to prioritize yourself. The subjects that you struggle with, for me, I struggle a lot with finance and stuff, which means I will have to spend a lot of time with that. Yeah. And the subject I found easily is food and beverage, so that will be my last priority.
Time management is a very personal thing. There are two questions they must ask themselves. One, is it important? Two, is it urgent? If it's important, then they would give lots of time and they would plan lots of time to deal with it. And if it is urgent, then they would do it immediately, do it quickly and get it done.
Your student self deserves to be treated well. So create a suitable space for study and get organized and in control of your study materials. Carve out time to work in that special space and enjoy the sense of achievement you will have. Remember that the point isn't to just pass tests and exams, but to gain the skills and knowledge that you will use in your professional life. Creating the best possible conditions for your study will ensure that these hours are really productive. Make study session a habit. Find a comfortable space without distraction. Set your study objectives. Have everything you need. Save cell phone for breaks. Use suitable music if it helps you focus. Reward yourself with short regular breaks. Your studies may be tough, but they can be a pleasure.
Very often we don't know that we have a particular way in which we learn, but we might be drawn to either pictures or graphics. Some of us like to read and write, some of us like to listen to someone else talk, and then we have those individuals that just want to get in there and be practical when it comes to learning. And that's actually a particular learning style. Depending on the subject, you might lean toward a particular learning style. Once you know what that learning style is and you can apply it, it makes learning certain subjects a lot easier. Very often you'll also find that there's certain subjects that you enjoy more than others because it appeals to your particular learning style. Once you know what your preference is, you can use various techniques to make learning a little bit easier.
There are several good ways to manage your uptake of information and your ability to retain and interpret it. The first of these is to understand what kind of a learner you are.
Personal budgeting. Like I said, your social life takes a dip, so there's not really a lot of money for you to put aside. Okay, I'm going clubbing, I'm going out. So most of your money goes towards printing credits, copying credits, assignments, and printing, and it just, the list goes on and on and on. So you need, what's vital for any student is to always have backup money. Besides living on res and having to have food money and transportation money is also very important. Besides that, you need to have backup money that you just stash somewhere, because you never know, as an assignment can just rock up and you need color printing or an essay. So you need to have that backup money that's going to support you at the end of the day.
When you are in a situation where you know that money is not the asset that you always have, start with the important things. I suggest that start with the things that you need, like food. Buy food. Buy the needs first other than the wants, because if I have money and then I start with airtimes, chips and all that, tomorrow I'm hungry. Well, where are you going to eat? Will I eat the airtime? So start with the important things. When you draft down your budget, no matter if you didn't do accounting, but what do you need? Food. What do you need? It's rent for the place. Start with those, and then the change, you can spoil yourself there.
So figure out what your goals are and start saving now.
The university really has a lot to offer. They have a lot to offer first-year students coming into a university in terms of support. Student counselling, tutors, mentors, and all these services are free to students. So there's no need for a student to get lost.
Thank you for taking the time to explore the basic guidelines for managing personal development as a university student. I hope that you can put these practices into action in your daily lives so that you can get the most possible out of your university education.